If you just joined, I was just saying how it's snowing here in Colorado, and when I shovel, I had the image that we're clearing the path. So it's kind of like when we're meditating, we're clearing the path to enlightenment. So last week I think we were meditating on the cold hills, and today we're finishing the hells, which I'm very happy to get out of the hells. Um, the last one is the animal realms, and then next week we'll be starting the the next Lamrim topic, which is refuge. So as always, we begin by coming into the session and putting aside whatever we were doing before, finding a comfortable position, relaxing our body, relaxing our muscles, releasing any tension that we might have. And bring your attention to this body sitting. And then you start to notice your breath. The body is breathing. So we can observe the breath, this inhale and exhale. And we can observe it by focusing the breath at the tip of the nose. This, this tiny sensation of inhale and exhale. And when we inhale, we draw the air in through our nostrils and it goes down into our lungs. And if we think about the left and the right channel, we're drawing that air all the way down through our chakras, all the way down to just about where our navel is. It's virtually filling the entire body. And then when we exhale, we're exhaling all of that. We'll just take a minute or two and observe this sensation, observe the breath to calm our mind. We can start to experience a more calm mind, a more settled mind, a grounded mind. And then we bring to mind our motivation, or maybe it's our intention. What's our intention of meditating? What's our intention of contemplating the lamrim? And many times when I'm thinking about my intention, it comes back to mind. So what is the mind? It's mind discovery. And as Lama Zopa would say many times, um, he'd say that happiness comes from the mind, suffering comes from the mind. All of our experience comes from the mind. So then, what is mind? And having this intention to discover the mind, to discover the mind through Lamrim, through this analytical meditation. That's many times my intention. So sometimes our intentions are not always the bodhicitta motivation, but they all lead to the bodhicitta motivation. But sometimes we have to take smaller steps wherever we are in the path and set that intention. So with that intention, we can contemplate this journey. Last week we were looking at the cold hells and all the suffering that's happening there, and then the um, the last um, the last realm that we want to look at, last hell realm, is that of the sufferings of animals. Which in some way is maybe easier for us to relate because we can see them, or we can see many of them, maybe not all of them. And we see and we know that they exist. Sometimes we can see them just outside our home. Birds, squirrels, dogs, and cats. Or maybe we go to the zoo or to an aquarium, and there we can see many varieties of animals. And sometimes I think we think that animals are in a separate category than humans. And what I mean is we think they're separate because we think we cannot be born into that state. And this is a mistake. Because they're beings just like us. And they're reborn as animals because of the karma that they created, the actions that they performed. So we also have that opportunity if we commit uh, actions that hold the karmic seed to be reborn as an animal. And we think it's hard to believe, right? That it can be like that. But if we take the example of eating, let's say we were eating a meal with friends. And after we're done eating, some of our friends they start dying immediately of food poisoning. So in that situation, we know we were just eating with them. We're eating the same poison, and that we're going to die as well, but just in the same way. It's just a matter of time. So in the same way, um, we and other beings, we've created the karma for animal rebirth. And it's just that some others have created the karma and that's ripened earlier, and so that they've already been born into this realm. But it's only a matter of time that we follow them. So There are many types of actions that lead to an animal rebirth, but the main type is sexual misconduct. So this is mostly involving um, sexual interaction with uh, the wrong partner. So um, a partner that you're not in an engagement with. So that's the main cause. And when we look at this animal realm, there's a lot of suffering. There's many different sufferings, but the principal suffering in the animal realm is low intelligence. And it's not saying that animals are don't have intelligence. It's just that they don't have the intelligence to hear the Dharma. So I used to have a dog. It's been a few years, and um, you could tell that the dog, his name was Bilbo, Bilbo Baggins. Um, the dog couldn't hear the teaching. So if there's teachings, recording, if I was playing online or whatever, the dog couldn't interpret, could not understand, would receive the blessing perhaps, but couldn't take the teachings and change their mind. So that was a big factor, right? But the dog was very similar to us, right? Always developing attachment, anger, pride, jealousy, but can't understand a single word of Dharma. In fact, if I raised my voice to speak to him, he probably thought I was scolding him. This has no interpretation of the words. So the animals just don't have this opportunity to learn the Dharma. So this is the point that we need to think about, what we need to understand. Because understanding this, then we see that um, we need to practice the Dharma now. If we practice the Dharma now, then we avoid falling into that state. Into one of those states that we can't practice the Dharma. And if we think about it, most of the animals, they live in the ocean, and some are very deep down in dark places and insecure homes where they're very likely to be destroyed in a single moment. Many don't have houses. They suffer from heat and cold, from the wind. It's like they're in a perpetual state of war. Sometimes large animals, they eat thousands of smaller ones. And sometimes an army of insects and other small creatures, they kill bigger animals. So there's countless sufferings within this realm. And it doesn't matter if you're big or small. And then we have the animals that are living among humans, right? Which tend to be quite badly treated. We kill them so we can eat their meat. We wear their skins. We take their milk from cows, goats, etc. We use them for sport. And while in most countries we have modern transportation like cars or buses, mm, in poor countries or in remote areas uh, where we don't have those modes of transportation, then we have animals that are carrying heavy loads, sometimes excessive. And it's interesting because um, we tend to be quite shocked when we hear about similar sufferings that were inflicted on humans that were, for example, held in concentration camps or um, or how the some of the Tibetans were treated by the Chinese. But for animals, we don't have the same consideration. It was interesting. But like a Buddha or Bodhisattva is not partial like this, but they regard sentient beings, humans, animals, or whatever, in exactly the same way. There's no difference. And that's exactly how Lama Zopa Rinpoche treated animals. Sometimes it appeared that Rinpoche cared for the animals more than humans. So thus we can see that animals don't have any peace, they don't have any rest. They're constantly afflicted. And we often complain about our problems, even in the human life, because we have difficulty with family situations, illness, headaches, and so on. But it's not really comparable with the bad experiences uh, that other sorts of beings are experiencing. And we have to consider that. Um, we have to consider that since we don't know what or how to tell the karmas that we do or we do not have, then it's quite possible that we're reborn as a animal. And then we'll have to endure and bear all of that suffering. So we take the time now to purify that karma and to stop the actions that would result in an animal rebirth. And so we dedicate the merit of this meditation, contemplating that due to all the past, the present, and the future merits collected by me, and all the merits of the three times collected by numberless Buddhas and numberless sentient beings, may bodhicitta be generated in the hearts of all sentient beings of the six realms, and especially in the hearts of everybody in this world, including all the students, the center benefactors, the volunteers, and the FBNT organization. And may it be generated in the hearts of all those who rely upon me, all those for whom I promise to pray, and all those names who have been given to me may be generated in my heart and in the hearts of all my family members, those who are living and those who have died. May the bodhicitta that has already been generated increase. Thank you very much.